right, guys, we're hitting you again from Mid-Ohio. That's a Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. It's American Motorcycle Association's Vintage Motorcycle Days, the largest vintage motorcycle swap meet in the world. And here with me, yes, thank you, Oscar. And here with me, Foley, artist extraordinaire, Oscar. So to my right is one of my favorite humans. If he's in the shot, I don't know, but that's John Beckelfish to my right. You might hear him chiming in if we need technical support.
His knee is there.
Yes, his knee is in the shot. Wow, you got to take care of that knee, John. They're having doctors will be chiming in and leaving comments. But here with us, mosquito bitten, already wounded, right? Yeah. Yes, things happen at Mid-Ohio. But this is one of my, another favorite human of mine, and somebody I am proud to say from the second we met, we were like, oh boy, this is going to be good. This was matches and gasoline. I mean, this was it. So Liza, this is Liza Miller. This is the Liza Miller from the Motorcycles and Misfits podcast. Now, if you want to listen to a good podcast, go past Cleveland Moto on your radio dial and stop strongly at Motorcycles and Misfits, because these guys are, seriously, when I went out hunting for good podcasts to listen to in the deep, dark winters of Cleveland as I'm working on bikes and I need motivation, I found you guys, I found your podcast. Yeah, and we were like instantly, okay, they're definitely not exactly like us. You guys have definitely a more altruistic element than we do. We're kind of like, yeah, if you make it, you make it. If you don't, that was lovely, but you were entertainment for us watching you fail. You guys, bikes walk in and bikes roll out. Tell them about how you got started, Liza. And by the way, if he's in the shot, that is the one and only Nak. I'm our agent. Yeah, and if you guys are listeners, you'll know.
Of everything.
Also known as exotic number one.
Exotic number one, and also fuck Nak.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah.
Please fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Mid-Ohio. That'll happen later, I promise. So, shit gets weird.
I'd fuck me.
So,
I'd fuck Nak.
So, because this is the Moto Stories with Unkie Phil podcast,
yeah,
and you guys have had the Unkie Phil experience, I randomly show up in Santa Cruz for various different things, and I make it my habit to never let her know I'm coming. And like I'll even keep it off Facebook that I'm flying, and I'll just show up. And Liza sometimes will treat me to a Michelada, you know, like, and she brought these all the way from Santa Cruz, these cups, and they're styrofoam, they didn't break, so.
Michelada.
It's like being at a Mexican flea market. All right, it's so good. Now, talk to the folks and let them know what Misfits are. What's the deal?
Yeah, so I run the Recycle Garage, a co-op garage space. Yep. You run an actual garage.
Yes,
and
we expect to be paid for our services.
But we're similar in that there's a community of people who've developed around us through that. And my garage on Sundays only, we sit around and tell stories. Much like you and your friends.
Yeah.
And this is why I think we have these similarities.
We do.
And we'd get new people and we'd tell them, like, do you know where Cafe Racers come from?
Yeah, we both hate CB500Ts.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And we'd just have these great conversations. I thought, I want to bottle this and share it. And that's one of the things shortly after, I think I was like episode 7, and I discovered you, because you guys started before us. But you guys were different from everyone else, and most of the podcasts at the time were two people talking, well researched, over Skype, many of them.
Yes, they had a list of topics, issues they'd like to address,
the latest race news,
and maybe a timeline.
Exactly.
We had none of that, but we were enthusiastic.
But both of our shows were entertaining because we had personalities.
Yes, exactly. You had a group of cast members, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah, a constantly rotating cast of misfits, as you would say. Nak being one of the early ones.
Yep.
And he makes noises.
He does make noises.
All kinds of noises.
And we like to share our experiences, our tales, but also deep dive and talk about the origins or stuff. And we've had many people over the years, but it's always been this fun chemistry.
Yes.
And we've now been doing. How long have you been doing it? We're like
11 years, yeah.
Yeah, so I think
11
we're
years.
I started
We're-
listening to you both when you first
Yeah.
started.
yeah.
And what's really funny is
11 years? Fuck!
so
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I know, right? Wow, we were kids.
Yikes!
So we had some mutual friends because in Santa Cruz there's a motorcycle scooter group called the Vampires. And so from me traveling and going to rallies on the West Coast and stuff, it's a very strange mix, the Vampires, because they had members on scooters and also members on motorcycles. But if you watch The Lost Boys, you'll understand the joke,
Yeah.
the reference between Santa Cruz and all the damn vampires. So that was a strange, we had this thing. And so members of your group are also vampires, right? And so that was like, oh, that's great. They know people we know. Like I know we have mutual friends. And that was very cool to kind of have that thing. And I had never been to Santa Cruz, ever. So my first trip to Santa Cruz was to see these guys, you know? It was a really, really cool experience for me because as you meet more people, your world grows.
Yeah.
And it was fun with you guys because it was just like, oh, wow.
I found my people.
Oh, I could move here tomorrow. And I thought about it.
Yeah,
Like,
I bet.
I was looking at buildings. Yeah.
Yeah.
But your group is very interesting because your group is completely diverse. Your motorcycle selection is like, you go scooters, you go Harley Davidson, you go big Metro Cruisers, you've got
Dirt
super
bikes.
motards.
Lopez.
Like,
Everything.
Nak just can't stop doing wheelies. Like until he breaks parts of his body off, right? Like, and he's like he's
Like
the
grunts when you park.
well, like okay, so Nak, what's your current motorcycle lineup?
Oh, right now it's my XR650R,
Right.
which I call the collarbone breaker.
Which I was going to say is also that's a street bike.
Yeah, it is
So
a
it's a
street
dirt bike set up as a motard.
Yep.
Right.
And then I got my Super Hawk, my 1998 Honda Super Hawk.
As it also, she shall be known as drinks too much gas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ask him the mileage.
Oh, the mileage on the Super Hawk. This is a good one.
Oh, it's 125,000 miles on that Super Hawk.
Okay, so all of you guys that were like haters on Super Hawks, two things. One, he supports the oil industry.
Yes,
And two,
lots.
over 100,000 miles on a Super Hawk. That's a lot of wheelies. One front tire, right? Yeah,
Probably,
one
yeah.
front tire, right? That's it. And then, so what else do you have? That's it.
Oh, and I have a Ninja 650R.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got Mid Ohio just now.
In Ohio.
Yeah, I have a Ninja 650R that I got from a friend of mine. I fucked around with and
Right.
made it a little fun little.
You have
street
another
beater.
bike you always forget to mention.
Oh yeah, it's a basket case.
He got
Versus.
a Versus for $100.
$100 Versys?
Yeah.
Really?
Holy
Yeah.
crap! You got John's
One
attention.
separate.
That's a hell of a lot better deal than I got.
Missing the
Yeah, he bought
front
his from me.
Missing a front end, missing the
He paid
stem
full
arm.
retail.
It's gonna be the project bike. It's been the project bike for like 4 years.
Right on. And then, Liza, you used to be custom chopper. Like,
I did have a custom chopper.
Yeah.
It was just another thing to check off the box.
so if you're familiar with Moto Stories and Unkie Phil, we call that $40,000 ass jewelry.
Yeah.
And I'd always kind of, we have a lot of fun with people who own those types of bikes. And then we're like, Liza had one. And I've seen the pictures of it.
It was really cool.
No, it wasn't really cool.
It was really
It was
cool.
beautiful to you, but to me, it was not really cool.
Well, it was really cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why it's cool.
bike
Because
only on Mother
I
Goodwill.
built
That
it.
was a bike that you couldn't take near most schools.
It's because I built it. And when I tell people who come and work
Yeah.
on bikes, it's not about the finished product. It's about the journey.
It is about the build. It's about
And
the build.
I learned
Yeah.
so much on that bike. There
Yeah.
were so many challenges I faced in welding and fabrication and making things fit
Yep.
and everything, design.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was that for me.
And it was beautiful. I mean, I tease all the time
Right.
just because that's not my flavor, but
It was useless,
but it was beautiful.
but it was beautiful.
Useless.
Yeah, but the reason I got rid of it,
Yeah.
I rarely rode it, but
Right.
the chrome was peeling off
The
after
forks?
a year
Oh,
in my garage.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
because it had California chrome.
Yeah, California chrome in a can.
Environmentally friendly chrome.
Well, you come out of the East Coast. You come out of Boston, right?
Boston, Atlanta, Oakland,
Via Utah. Or
Utah. I'm all over.
So literally, I mean, this is another thing too, because you settled in Santa Cruz,
Mm-hmm.
and I've met your parents and been to the estate and the Toaster Museum and the Train
Yeah.
Museum,
The compound.
the compound, and what they've got going on is magic. Because in Cleveland we can have square footage, and we have a
Right.
lot of square footage because it's mostly free. You just show up and they give you a building. But in Santa Cruz, you have to pay for it in blood, money, and everything else. Like to do what you
Yeah.
guys are doing out of the space they're doing it. I'm not kidding when I say they're in a 1908 garage that probably used to be a stable.
You have to duck to walk into.
Yes, you have
Yeah.
to duck to go into. The doors don't work like normal doors. And then they've added one of those temporary tent things that are supposed to last about 6 months. But in Santa Cruz, how many years have you had that?
Oh, it's gone through many skins.
There you go. It's been reskinned several times. But that's their deal, and they get a group there. And when I say a group, I have been there on Sundays where there have been 20 plus people, all with a wrench in their hand. And herding cats is the understatement of the century.
Yeah.
And I like to cocktail. I like to have a drink. We're there, and you can tell there are the après mechanics, and then there are the mechanics, and then there are the people that are truly desperate because they know this is the only way they get to work in the morning, and now they have to take it apart. Bravery is the key to Motorcycles and Misfits. Emma is there constantly saying, just take it apart. Just take it apart. Just do it. And Liza is there. Basically, I will say, Liza forces people to be better with an iron fist. She also can get you to do things you don't necessarily want to do.
True.
If she comes at you with an Evel Knievel suit, run. Run. Fast.
I believe we have a picture of
exactly.
Nak on a milk crate being dragged by me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Last time we were
Right here
Yeah.
in this very park.
I didn't want to do it, but whatever.
Now, because you guys are, we have to mention that around where they are, there's a hotbed of motorcycle history. A hotbed of motorcycle legends have decided to make that place their home. And so you can throw a rock and hit Corbin Saddles. You can hit, that's where Vetter's there.
I mean, let's face it, it's California.
Arlen Ness.
Arlen Ness is there. Hollister's there.
Motorcycles in California.
It just goes.
The Hells Angels.
The Hells Angels,
Sonny
exactly.
Barger.
Right. So this is all just the environment, and it's also if you want to go to Alice's restaurant, you want to drive on the best roads in the world, they're right there. So there's a hell of a lot of reasons to land there.
Well, Pacific Coast Highway,
Exactly.
one of the best riding
Yeah.
roads.
So it is really magic. I mean, we don't sell them short, but when this whole thing, this silly thing that we call podcasting happens, and we get together, and this happens at events. So events will happen, and we have our friends Swiggy and MotoGP here, and they show up at stuff, and we always end up bombing in on each other's events. And we try to get together and record something. It's fun. But it does show that we are kind of the same spirit.
Yes.
And it also shows that we can pop up on somebody's doorstep and say, I have a plane ticket and a backpack. Everything else I need. But we do always persevere.
We don't take ourselves too seriously.
No, we don't.
There's the key.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what?
Fun,
it doesn't need to be a hotel room floor.
but I think the biggest thing is we both are so passionate about motorcycles, and that's infectious to people. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure you have the same experience. How many people have you motivated to get into biking, to get into wrenching
Both of you.
through the podcast?
Yep.
And that just makes me feel so
That's
good.
why we require a bottle of brown liquor. Because you got to pay your tax at some point.
Looking for a bottle.
There's a bottle of brown liquor right there. Here's another thing that I do think is important is we've each had at least 90 people, because I've been keeping a casual count, telling us I've never been to AMA Vintage Days before.
So many here for
First
the first
timers.
time.
You guys
Right.
are the hype for
Right.
AMA. I mean,
And we wouldn't be so excited about
Right
it.
there?
Yep. Yeah. Wouldn't
there,
be so
yeah.
excited if it wasn't for the fact that we have people that listen to us and spread the love about hey, there's a thing happening, and it sounds like either these guys are being paid to promote it or it's good.
Yeah.
Like one of the two things. And we're not going to try to sell you a gentleman's
Time.
razor. Yep. There you go.
Hey!
Yeah. Hey, again, and this is the other thing about AMA Vintage Days. You will run into people you only see here for 20 years. Like your friends that you only see here once a year, but for 20 years.
it's my only vacation that nobody's allowed to mess with. Because
Yes, yeah. Steve was behind the camera. We're not going to talk about his employment situation too much, but he had it written into his contract that in his new job that he was going to be absent for a good period of time right into taking the job because this is so important to us. Nice. It is our Burning Man. It is our event.
The old white man's Woodstock.
The old white man's Woodstock. It's fantastic. So what are you going to go home with?
A sunburn? No.
So tell the folks what happened to your left paw there.
Oh, yeah.
Handgun incident? Yeah.
Well, I want to first say I didn't crash.
No, you didn't crash.
I didn't crash.
You almost very nearly crashed.
I found a pothole that had yet to be discovered.
Oh, really? You left it there for somebody else, though.
Oh, no, it's well marked now.
Oh, it is?
Well marked.
It's got a bike in it.
No, I made him put cones around.
Oh, you did?
Somebody's going to die.
Yeah,
on this day.
yep.
It was nearly me.
It happens, dude.
But hey, I'll survive. Didn't
Yeah.
stop me. I just kept going.
Yeah, rock on. And you know what? From now on, though, we got some automatics.
I
Yeah.
took Piper and showed her the place where I killed Sydney.
Yes, yes. Things do happen at Mid-Ohio. Absolutely. So
The takeaway for me again is all the people that I meet and
Absolutely.
talk to.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I've sat down to get a hot dog and just
Yep.
sat down and started talking to people.
Yep.
Just some guy next to me and waiting for traffic. Like you just
Yep.
start talking to people.
it's amazing, and it's chaos.
Great
Yeah.
community.
It's chaos. It is for people who are here for their first 25 minutes or 35 minutes. They're just terrified.
You know what
it's
this
just
is?
shocking.
Looks like Vietnam.
This is
Yeah,
thousands and tens of thousands of misfits.
it is. All of these people that are here, because I don't know if you picked up on that yet. This is not a brotherhood event. This is not an MC event. This
No.
is not a Harley Davidson intimidation event. This is silly motorcycles.
Here's a guy riding around with his.
Right. No, they just did the jump.
ramp.
They just did the
It's
ramp.
not a ramp.
They did two up with a baby.
On a Coleman.
On a Coleman, yeah, exactly. There's no fronting here of like, oh look,
Little large.
I'm tougher than you are, I'm better than you are, whatever. It's completely
For
wild.
that kid's nuts, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. You know what? Hey, he's a kid, but it is a strange menagerie of weird stuff. Yeah.
Everything goes. I mean,
And then if you get bored of this and seeing bikes that you really shouldn't buy, then you go into watch racing, and then you go see the Wall of Death. And then there's informational seminars that we're not doing this year because they didn't like us last year or something. I don't know what it was,
Yeah.
but yeah, we got uninvited to help out again. But they still gave us some spots. So that was nice. So again, that's it, man. And it's a good event every damn time.
Every day.
Every damn time.
I mean, have we done? I mean, look how much we've done to promote this.
Yeah.
I mean, like the AMA and the
Yeah,
Ohio.
right.
Like we've been singing their praises for years.
Well, yeah, and I do believe in it because every other event that I've ever been to, if we would have done on Thursday, the night before it technically opens, if we would have done at any other event what we did last night,
Yeah.
we would have been thrown out summarily, right? And meanwhile, what we're getting here is the sheriff went through one time on an ATV, the deputy. He went through one time and he was like, I'm not staying, I'm out. And he was just like, whoosh, and he was gone. Now it's loud and there's fire and things get exploded occasionally.
Disco balls.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed in the fireworks this year.
Well, hold on, it's just Thursday, so yeah, we're just getting into Friday
I do want
right
to give
now.
you some credit though.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people whose first time is here, or not
Knock's been
whose
here
first, but are
Yeah, yeah.
people who had a first time here.
Right.
You've got it dialed in.
He did.
Well, we do.
We come out here,
Yeah.
you supply us a place to sleep,
Yep.
bikes to ride,
Yeah.
a place to sit, to gather.
Yeah.
We have a shit ton of food.
Yeah, we do.
Fucking
Yeah.
cigarettes.
You've got it dialed in so that we come and just drop down in. For people who've never been here
Right.
before, it'd just be like,
Where do you start?
where do you even
Where do you start?
What do
Where
you
do you
do?
start?
Who
Yeah.
do you talk to?
Yeah, it's madness.
And we come here already like,
Yeah.
we got it.
But I
Right.
love how it's like you could just, who do you talk to? Just talk to that guy and just
Right.
bust into anybody's
Yep.
camp. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Right.
Anyone?
It is a strange thing, and there's no go time, by the way. It's not like, oh, when does it start? No, it's like you go to unload something, you turn around, and it's now started. It's it. And it's thousands and thousands. I don't know what the count is, but it is thousands upon thousands of motorcycles and campers and people and cool stuff. And it's just great fun. And again, that's why we do it. But also, while we're doing it, we're learning about motorcycles. We're kind of figuring out, okay, well, that's a
I'm
that,
not really
this is
learning.
that.
I'm mostly teaching.
You're mostly teaching at that point, honestly. Yeah.
And the other thing too, and I want to give the AMA credit in
Yeah.
this. For any of us who've been to other bike events,
Yep.
I don't know
Tons of
any
them.
event
Right.
like this
Right.
that has so much lawlessness.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yet-
have a barber, it's regimen. You gotta have
yet-
plates, you gotta have a helmet, you gotta park.
Nothing
there, you
goes
gotta do
wrong.
that.
I have seen so many almost really bad accidents.
Exactly.
But it's like riding a bike in India.
They did,
Almost
It is.
doesn't count.
Doesn't-
Almost is a victory.
they did shut down bringing trailers in last night because too many people got ran over.
That's what they
Yeah, I
said,
know
but
that
I
was
don't
happening.
believe it. I just think they just wanted to.
And you know, they've had some campers burned down. There's been a couple.
Not
but-
today. This is in
but
years of history.
In
Yeah.
general,
Right.
nothing.
The Star Boys.
It works.
I know
It works.
The only,
And in
person
fact-
the only person for sure that I knew that died died a hero's death
on a bike.
On a bike.
A friend of mine out of Kentucky.
That guy.
Mike Wells Racing.
Mike Wells Racing.
He introduced children to racing for years. He's a super dude. He died going around that track, and I know that just the way he.
Oh, that was 2 years ago.
On the straightaway, he slumped over.
I was here.
Mike Wells.
Mike Wells, well done. May I be so damn lucky.
But I've been wanting to do an event in California.
Yep.
And to be able to have an event and do like a group ride, like, hey guys, let me take you down to Big Sur, check it out. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. No.
Insurance,
Go in
this
the
and
desert
that.
or something like
So
that.
I can give you a map and say, have fun.
You should now go to those
But
places.
I can only suggest where you go, but I am in no way telling you this is where to go.
No, I'm fairly certain
Yet
that right here there's
a field set aside to let
The shenanigans.
people with every age, every size of bike, every experience of riding, and every level of.
Do you like campfires? Are you a campfire enthusiast? If
Go
you're a
in circles.
campfire enthusiast, you will love this place because you can't burn this place down. It's perpetually damp.
No.
Right? Yeah. This is a very hard place to ignite. And if you do accidentally let the fire get too far, don't worry, Mother Nature will provide rain for you at least once a day.
And I was actually in the tower today talking to one of the employees, not just of Mid-America, but they run a few tracks around the country. Yeah. And I said, is this a nightmare for you guys?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we love it.
No, it's $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah,
I'm like, really, we're Californians, and there are people just starting fires over in the fields. I'm like, that's all right. Sure.
There are people that don't have any matches and are using motorcycles to start fires. I've seen it done.
It's a field. What can you do to it?
Guess what? Every year we come back, it's still here. So go figure, right?
It is truly magic. And you've been coming here all along. Has it been magic?
Oh yeah. And it's previous years it's been some cat and mouse games with security and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what they've done is I think AMA has learned that the soft open approach to it is much better. So like letting people have fun and have a good time, you're going to get a better group. And it is bigger. It is definitely gotten bigger over the years, which is fun.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to go so far to say this resembles a self-governed utopia.
It does. Yes.
That's a really good
why do we not have to worry about everything we own being stolen? Because we are surrounded by people who are us.
That's it.
And that's it. We leave our toolbox open, it's fine.
Yeah.
And somebody borrowed a wrench from me yesterday or this morning, and he brought the wrench back and he was like, hey, thank you so much for having this odd wrench. And I was like, cool, just put it back where you found it. You know, like
I let my favorite screwdriver to Paul, and he said I'd kill myself if I didn't give it back.
See?
That's
that kind of respect you expect at a place
Well,
like
if
this.
you remember, first time I came,
this is my favorite screwdriver.
with some accessories.
Oh yes, exactly.
That disappeared with some guy in a golf cart. We're spotted at different
Accessories.
points.
She means rubber dicks.
And we're returned.
This group right here, if you do take your bike in there and she asks you to take a picture with your bike, be careful. When you get that picture back later on, I guarantee there's going to be a rubber dick in it somewhere. Suction cup right there. Oh, man.
I may or may not have dicked the Pan America when I was at the garage.
That is distinguished.
Oh, look,
all right, guys.
Army shirt.
So, I see Emma's Army shirt. All right, so on that, folks, please remember to ride fast and take chances. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba ba